Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi everyone, very good morning, very good day. Together with me today is Mr. Jong Kiam Chun, a prominent local writer who writes in Mandarin of various genre, having very prominent experience throughout the years, which we need to listen to his writing backgrounds, his products of writing, and what it's worth for in our national civilization. To introduce to you, Mr. Jong Kiam Chun, can you please tell us your personal background first?
Oh, thank you. My name is Jong Kiam Chun. Usually I use the name KC Jong. I come from a rural settlement in Bao district, the place called Sebuko. My parents were rubber tappers and paper planters. I come into this war just about 2 months after the occupation of the Japanese of Sarawak. So I went to school at the age of 8 years old.
Yeah.
So very late. Yeah. Then I first joined the Chunghua Primary School, Sebuko. And after that, I joined the St. Peter and Paul's School in Bao, where I had 3 years English primary education. Then after that, I was selected to join the St. Joseph's School in Cochin in 1960s.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm very grateful to one Mr. Lee, a Toke or a shop owner in Bao town.
Mm-hmm.
He generously supported me to finance my secondary education for 4 years. Then I completed my senior campus in 1963. Yeah. Then I taught for 1 year in Bao in a private English secondary school. After that, I came down to Cochin. Then I joined the Chinese media service. And for a few years later, I switched over to the English medium as a reporter with a weekly published by the Blue Knight, but I'm based in Cochin.
It's Borneo Bulletin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The weekly is called Borneo Bulletin.
It's a weekly newspaper.
Yeah, it's a weekly newspaper.
The first one, the first one?
The first one is the Sarawak Vanguard.
Sarawak Vanguard.
Yeah.
Next was Borneo Bulletin.
Yes.
The
and
third
after
one?
that, I joined the Siwa Daily. In fact, after the Sarawak Vanguard, I joined the Siwa Daily News.
Swihua Daily News.
Yeah, based in Cochin. Then after that, I joined the Borneo Bulletin for more than 10 years.
Okay.
Until 1984.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for more than 10 years. Then after that, I have some trouble with my head. That I have migraine. I can't use too much thinking. So I switched over to the Associated Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry as the Executive Secretary for more than 15 years. Then after that, I decided to retire in late 1999.
Oh, it's quite recent.
Yeah.
Okay. So therefore, when did you start writing like what you have now? Like your poetry, your prose, your historical books, and when did you realize that you want to start?
In fact, I started to write, apart from my news items, I also wrote features, short stories, and also on subject of history, general history of Sarawak.
For the newspaper?
For the newspaper, for the local newspaper, and for those newspaper published in West Malaysia.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You write in Mandarin?
Yes, I write. For that period, I wrote in Mandarin.
Okay.
Even now, until now, I write in Mandarin. I seldom write English, although I was English educated. But during that secondary education, I had one Chinese subject.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It taught by at the St. Joseph's School.
Okay. Yeah. It's a single subject. It's
one
ordinary
subject.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's one subject.
So,
Yeah.
so during that period, during the school days, I mostly read Chinese books, novels, poetry, and all this. Although the school required me to read more English books,
yeah.
but I still spend more time reading Chinese books. That's why created my interest.
You're more inclined to writing in Mandarin.
Inclined in writing in Chinese language.
Do you find problem with grammar in Mandarin or something?
So far, no. Because that time I have my Chinese subjects in the English school. I also went to attend night classes in Mandarin.
Oh, okay.
In Mandarin,
right.
yeah. So that's I can master my Chinese writings. So I produced in fact, I started to write in 1965 or 66.
You write because you work in a newspaper, or you have certain very personal interest in writing?
There are two reasons. One is I'm working as a reporter.
Okay.
I have to write news items and also some features. The other is my interest in writing. Also, I feel my social responsibility to write.
So to you, writing is about social responsibility.
Yes.
To distribute the information to society.
Yes.
In the form of newspaper.
Yeah.
And compile materials in the form of books.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I discovered that there's very few books in Chinese language touching on the history of Sarawak. Although there are more books written in English, but there were very few
in Mandarin.
So I made up my mind to write as many books in Chinese or in Mandarin as possible.
So that the Mandarin literate people, regardless of whether they're Chinese or non-Chinese, can have reading materials of Sarawak history.
That's right.
That's your intention.
That's my intention.
What about your poems, your prose, and things like very literary in nature?
That is for the second line.
Yeah.
My first emphasis is focusing on the writing on the Sarawak history.
Historical,
on historical subjects. That's the writing poems. Occasionally, I will write poems.
Why do you write poems?
That's an expression of my feelings.
Oh, okay. All right. Very interesting.
Also, occasionally, I will write the Hakka folk song.
Oh,
the
Hakka folk song.
Yeah.
Is it local folk songs or naturally Chinese folk songs, wherever they are? Let's say Chinese in Japan, Chinese in England, or Chinese in China, or Chinese in Sarawak. The folk song is about the same.
That's because the Hakka folk song is a specialized song.
Oh, okay.
It's not been practiced by other community,
Chinese
community, but
It's
only by the
Hakka.
Hakka.
And that Hakka is Hakka in Sarawak.
Yes.
Okay.
They use the local Hakka language, and then occasionally I would write that.
So you write your own original Hakka folk songs, or you write what they had been using outside there?
I using the local Hakka songs.
Oh, so you document it?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. Why do you think you need to document it?
That's only occasionally encouraged by friends.
Oh, okay.
Especially a few years back, my friends started the Hakka folk song in the Facebook, encouraging all the Hakka people to join them. So I joined them, and that time I wrote quite a lot of this joining them as a Hakka folk song.
Can you show us your book that contains the Hakka folk song?
Unfortunately, I didn't bring that Chinese. No.
Oh, it's not here.
It's not
okay.
here.
But there is in the Sarawak Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. There is.
Let me see. Any or not? Yes.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, this one,
okay.
the Hakka
folk song. Meaning to say they would sing this lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
This is in a way is like poems, but it can be sung in the Chinese, in the Hakka way.
Do they use music? A musical instrument?
They use some music, but they can sing it solo without any music.
Without any music.
Yeah.
In what occasion do they sing that song? Any like Chinese New Year or
sing
anything?
it during walking.
Oh, when they are farming, they can sing.
They're doing the farming, or even during the tapping rubbers.
Oh, that is to entertain themselves.
Express their feeling, express their love
for their work. Oh, that's very handsome. Yes. Okay.
Or even during the dating, they could also use the song to do the dating.
They go dating and they have songs.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, that's a very special way.
Oh, okay.
Expressing the love to the youngers or to the young boy.
All right.
Yeah.
Possibly one more is when the older folks are entertaining the baby sleeping.
They can sing that song also.
That's a particular song suitable for that.
That's for
Mr. Jong, can you show us your poetry piece of work? Poetry that you compile, and how many books maybe, if you can tell us, you can show us your
So far, I didn't compile or publish any book in poetry. Only is a mix like this one.
Oh, mix.
When I'm all inside the books, I got a few poetries.
Yeah, okay.
Swift songs, and also some Hakka folk song, and also historical items.
Meaning to say, in one book you would mix, you would make it into a mixed compilation.
Yes.
Oh,
it's a mixed compilation.
Do you think that one day you might separate it? History materials will be by itself, your poems will be by itself, or your prose maybe by itself? Are you thinking along
yes,
that corner?
In fact, I'm starting to compile it. Like this book. This is a short stories, which I compile into one book.
That is published this year?
Published this year.
Oh, okay.
Just in August.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, I would put this short story combine with other like poems, like historical items,
Okay.
like in this book. This is combined with other trees
Yeah.
subjects or classification. But so I started to combine them in specific books. Like this one, the short stories, or they call it the flash fiction. Just only the short stories.
Yeah, prose fiction. Yeah. All right.
And then this one is only the history, historical
Features.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this one.
That is also
This
very
one
recent.
is also only history,
Yeah.
historical items published.
But that's very new. This
is very new. This is published this year.
Yeah.
Published this year. This is 2 years ago.
When did you write all those articles here? Many years back?
No.
You combine it, or just very?
This one is all the items already combined in this book were written in the last 2 to 3 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one is much earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Some in the 2015 or 2020 or on this
Okay,
one.
if you-
And this is this book is the prose,
Yeah.
which I wrote during last year. I
Oh,
spent
okay.
about 8 months
To
to write this
it.
book. Only the prose, the feeling, expression, my feelings over the various things. Also, this contains all the memories over the last 8 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This
Okay.
is,
Now, you some of the articles you had written it maybe 5 years, 10 years back. How do you keep it? Do you have a computer to keep it, or it's just like a newspaper writing? When you need to put it into a book, you rewrite it, or how?
some of the past all writings were lost. I don't know where are they. I don't know where I kept them. But those later part,
Yeah.
those later items written, I think, 2015, 2016 onwards, that are kept in my computer.
Oh.
And all those earlier writings are either newspaper cuttings
Okay.
or
Magazine.
the original
original.
manuscripts. Yes, that's it.
Or you still keep them?
Yeah, not many, very few. I have lost a lot of my old writing. I don't know where are they.
Should one day you feel like you don't want to lose it anymore, you surrender it to Sarawak State Library.
Yeah, that's a good
Yes,
idea.
Yeah. You surrender even the original copy. You tell them maybe because one day people might want to study Casey Jong for their first degree, master's degree, or PhD. We never know.
Yeah,
20,
that's right.
30, 50 years from now.
Yes.
We never know. There's a good
That's a good
contribution
idea
there.
to keep it.
Can you recall how many books had you written?
So far, up to this year,
Yeah.
I have written and published 18 books.
18.
Yeah, 18,
Yeah, okay.
yes. Yeah.
All right.
And 12 of the books are on historical items.
12 books on historical items.
Yes,
Totally history.
totally history.
Oh, that's very good.
No myths. Yeah.
Okay, your historical items in that books will be about Kuching history, Hakka history, or throughout Sarawak or Malaysia?
It's about Sarawak, but especially for the Chinese, the Hakka people. I've written 4 books on Hakka people in Sarawak, about their migration from China to West Borneo, or to Malaya, or to Sabah, up to Kuching, some from Bao or Kuching, and then from there they will migrate to other part of Sarawak. So the history about Hakka is a complete history from about their migration, all the schools they have established in the Kuching, Samalahan, and Silian divisions, and also in Melalui, and part in Sliaman division, and also including their religious activities. The many temples they built in Bao area, Batukawa, in the coastal area, and also along the Kuching Silian roads. Yep. And also about the Hakka people, how they work the gold mine
In Bau.
Bao, also in Kilili.
In Kilili gold mine.
Yes, they got.
So Bau gold mine are done by the Hakka.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The same with the Kilili gold mine
Also the Hakka.
by the Hakka people. Yeah.
What about that quarry in Bau there? Is that done by the Hakka as well?
Currently,
Piao
the quarry are also done by the Hakka people in Bao.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So meaning to say the Hakka, besides farming, they are also in the industry,
Yes.
mining industries
Yeah.
and on and on.
Yeah.
And becoming tauke as well.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Can you recall which was your first book? Is it here?
Yes.
First book.
Yeah, this is my first book,
Which year was that?
which I published in 1992.
1992. That's where about you started working in 1964.
65.
65.
Yes.
So that is about 30 years, almost 30
Almost
years
30
after
years,
you work
Yes.
in the newspaper industry, then you publish your book.
Yes.
Why do you put into books?
That time, in fact, all the items, most of the items have been published in the newspaper
Okay.
that I work,
Yeah,
or in
right.
other Chinese newspaper. A lot of colleagues or friends
Okay.
encouraged me to compile all the items into a book.
All right.
So I started to compile, to find all the items from the cuttings, and then I compile it into one book, entitled The Rolling Years.
Okay.
Now, because the book consists of stories about the prisoner of war camp at Batulintan in Kuching.
Oh, that's a Japanese
Yes,
war
Japanese
camp.
period,
Yeah.
the war camp, and also about the Malaysia-Indonesia confrontations, about especially about the various
Is
fightings.
it the one in Batulintang? There is one cock frame that is by the Chinese
Yes.
camp.
Yeah.
It's still there now.
Yeah,
I remember
still
that.
there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, also about the fightings between Malaysia and Indonesia
Yeah.
during
there's
the
confrontation.
period.
Yes.
Yeah, and also there is some items on how Sarawak became a colony of the United States or United Kingdom.
United Kingdom.
Kingdom
Yeah. All right.
in 1946.
Yeah.
I found out,
You
discovered
have in
all
your writing.
all the documents and materials about
They are becoming colony.
become
Yeah.
colony.
Okay. All right. Do you write also about the two groups of gold mines quarreling in Bau?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I have.
What's the name of the group already? I can't really recall.
They call it the top company.
Oh, okay.
The top company. And also about the 1857 uprising by the Hakka miners in Bau.
There was against the ruler.
Against the Brooke
Brooke
government.
ruler. Yeah.
I have
all right.
produced that. Yeah.
Oh, you have that in your
I
writing.
have published one book especially on that subject.
Oh, okay.
About the 1857 Chinese, the miners uprising in Mao against the blue government. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting. Okay. Among all your books, which one do you thought is your favorite? Is your this is my best piece of work? You have any? Or to you all are beautiful and good and or you have any? Let's say this is my best piece of work, you know, that I love very much.
In fact, there are many books. All the books, all the 18 books are my the result of my efforts, hard working. But one of them is quite special. Because the book is entitled Treatise and Engagement of 18 Borneo from the year 1526 up to 1963. I spent a lot of time to try to gather, to collect all the documents.
Okay.
And that's, I went to the Brunei Museum to find all documents. And also I went to the Sabah State Library to try to find the document or treaties signed between the North Borneo Company and the Zulus and the Brunei. Then I even wrote to the Congress Library of the USA Parliament in Washington.
Do you find problem getting information from those libraries in different countries, or they are very helpful?
They are very helpful.
Oh, okay.
I went to the Singapore National Library. They gave me assistance, including our National Library in KL.
Who sponsored you going there? Yourself?
I myself.
Oh, I see. That's very independent. Okay. All right.
And also use our state library and the Shaw Museum.
Also very friendly,
helpful,
giving you
so
information.
I got most of the documents on treaties, agreements, and other engagement, touching on establishing the friendship, trading, even the surrendering of territory during the blue period.
Okay.
From the 1853 up to 1905.
All right, Mr. Jong.
Yeah.
If I am a scholar, I want to study about, let's say, Chinese writers in Sarawak. I cannot look for you. I don't know where you live. Where do I look for your books?
They can come to our state library.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So all your books
most of the books have been deposited with the state library.
And people can get access here.
Some of the books also have been circulated throughout the world.
By the way, had any scholar did any research materials about your writings yet so far? Maybe university students or something?
In fact, there are quite a few university students, even professors, did interview me over various subjects, especially about the
writings, history,
the Hakka people.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Or the Chinese people. Yeah. In fact, in one of my book, The Red Rings is an English book. Have been mentioned by many scholars in the world, and that book has been kept by nearly 20 national libraries over the world.
That's very handsome.
Yes.
If only your pieces are also written in English, I think it will be distributed more worldwide than if you confine it to Mandarin. Do you one day intend to translate this to English, or just leave it like that?
I think I will leave it like that.
Okay.
It will just need quite a lot of time to do, even to rewrite on the Chinese book into English. That will spend quite a lot of time.
If there is somebody interested to translate this, would you say, okay, I allow you?
That would be very kind of him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So far, anybody translated your piece of work?
So far, no, not yet.
Would you do it on your own? No.
So far, no.
Leave it like that.
Yeah, just leave it like that. Maybe one day, if it's still healthy enough, strong enough, I may write one book or more about in the English language. But so far,
All in
I have
Mandarin.
no plan yet.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
do you
all-
have any children interested to translate this into maybe English or something?
So far, no.
So far, no.
Yeah.
You had not asked?
Because my children, one is opening and operating or managing one coffee shop,
Oh, okay.
and one daughter is in accountants. They don't have
they cannot write.
interest in
Not
writing.
interested. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now,
Yeah.
but okay. I'm educated in English. I can understand bahasa Melayu, but I'm interested to study your pieces of work. So how do I? I mean, I cannot read. So I think that one day it should be translated. It'll be
Yeah,
good for you.
Yeah, that's
Good for you. Don't you think that any Chinese association or Hakka association who can sponsor translating this and get it published?
So far, no, I don't need any.
You might.
Yeah, it
as
would be
well
up to
ask.
me, or if somebody needs my assistance, I will be most happy to help
Okay.
to tell him
Mhm.
the content of the book.
Can you tell us, after you publish this, where do you distribute? I mean, who had bought your book and get it distributed? If it is to the library, how many libraries in Malaysia had your book been distributed to? Can you
Apart
tell us?
from the one of the book, the Red Rings, have been sponsored by the National Library. The National Library had bought 420 copies
Of your
of that book
oh,
for distribution throughout the country.
throughout the state libraries and district libraries,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
okay, that's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
How many books had they bought? One
420 books.
of one title.
Yeah, one title.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
I
Yeah,
am
but
very
which
careful
one?
of
Can
that.
you show us which book?
No, I didn't bring here.
Oh, it's about what? It's about history.
It's about history
Oh,
of a
okay.
political party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, there's about political party.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit political anyway. There. Yeah. All right. Fine.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, so that's.
Yeah, for the
that's
other
good.
books, some of the books have been sold in Kuching, also in Chibu. But for the others, mostly I give free to my friends or to the schools.
Therefore, I should become your friend as well, so that I can get free books. But I
Yes,
cannot read.
most welcome, most welcome.
I cannot read because it's in Mandarin. So I just don't. I cannot read Mandarin.
Yeah,
That's unlucky part of me. Never mind. Should one day I'm young enough to study Mandarin, I might.
that's good.
Yes. All right. Okay.
Good.
Yeah. But do you have any advice to young people who is already a writer and who think of being a writer like you, or had no interest yet in writing? Do you have any advice to them about writing?
To the young writers, I will hope them. I will hope that or expect them to write or to put histories, folk songs, music, and others, including the cultural heritage or other things into writings. Be they their own community or the community of other community. If they don't put them down now in writing, especially those culture or heritage only transversed by verbal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it will be lost.
that will be lost.
Once that fellow
in
go,
time.
it will,
Yeah, that will be lost. So it's the time for them, especially those young writers, or on history side, the student of history and other writers should dig out all histories,
yeah,
all
because
stories
yes,
about Sarawak.
because in knowledge management, this is called tacit knowledge.
No, tacit knowledge.
TACIT. Tacit means it's only inside you. You go, the knowledge go.
Yes,
So
that's
to
right.
you, it must be. I mean, it is better if it is left behind in the form of books,
Yes.
so that others can.
Yeah.
Like me, I can sing the Chinese folk song.
Yeah,
The
that's right.
Hakka. When I do gardening, I can sing the Hakka song.
Yeah, if you don't take the time to take down, to put down in writing, yeah, it will be lost. And another aspect is, especially I would hope those history students, academicians, and other writers to write more on the Sarawak local history from the local anchors, from the local viewpoints.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the books, local books about Sarawak, are written by foreigners. So we should
Yes,
write them
foreigners.
in our local anchors,
Yes.
from the local
Yeah.
viewpoints.
So that it's authentic and real.
Yes,
because
that's right.
our experience is our reality.
Yes, that's ours.
But their right is upon their point of
From their
view.
own point of view.
That can be different
Yes.
and biased
Yeah.
to
That's
their
okay.
way of thinking.
Yes,
That's the
okay.
key to
That's
local writers.
That is
Yes.
a very heavy responsibility of our young writers.
Or even not very young writers
Yes,
as well.
those
Provided that
experienced
they are
writers.
local.
Yeah, yes.
I remember I met one student who graduated in petroleum engineering from the U.S. A&M University, Texas. He said one of the challenging factor was that all students, engineers students, I think all students in the U.S., they must study U.S. history.
Yes.
But here in Malaysia, if you study medicine or you study engineering, when
They
people
don't.
introduce history to you, they thought
They are
you are
blind.
funny. That's a wrong. So
Yeah.
therefore, if only we look at that perspective, like the U.S. Schooling system, whatever your field of interest in your knowledge search, history should
Is
be
number
included. Yes. So therefore, I thought this is a very good contribution to the Malaysian historical records provider, except that it's only in one language, Mandarin. So I suggest that one day you look for people, say,
Yeah.
hi, please translate my book or consider translation of that.
Yeah.
But never mind, it's all in the repository center here. Could be one day, we never know, somebody sponsor all books in non-English and non-Bahasa Melayu to be translated and be used. Because people like me cannot benefit the knowledge here inside unless I talk to you like this. You see?
Sure,
Right?
sure. Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. 2 years back, definitely the whole world is affected by
COVID-19.
that naughty virus COVID-19 started somewhere in the corner of China, and the whole world is affected. Were you then facing the same challenge as people about your writing? Because I saw that you have books like published in the year 2021, in the time of that COVID, even 2020, 2022. These 3 sensitive COVID-bound years, you still could produce. How is that possible?
Oh, the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic gave the best opportunity to the writers.
Because you
Who
stay at
are-
home. You stay at home.
Yeah. To write and also to combine the writings in the book. In fact, there are two persatuan penulis, one in West Malaysia, one in Sarawak. The Sarawak one, in fact, is a joint effort of the three persatuan penulis. They produced special book touching on the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah, they all have one published last year. The other is published this year.
You mean in Mandarin as well?
In Mandarin.
Do you write anything about it?
Yes, I also participated.
Contribute
in
there.
Contribute.
Oh. Do you have your own book?
Now, for myself, I started to compile my past articles, my past all writings, and also started to write one story every day. That's why I published one book in 2002, the first year of the pandemic. I compiled all my writings from right from the from the year 2000 up to 2019. So I produced one book, Tales from the Land of the Hornbills. This is all about histories, about Sarawak. And then I produced another book, When I Am Old. That's last year.
When I'm old. Okay. When was that? 2021?
2021.
So you were old last year?
Yeah, that's
So
last
now
year.
you are older or younger? All right.
I'm
Okay.
older now.
Yeah, okay.
So I produced one book last year and also started to write more books. So this year,
Are you still writing?
yes,
Now?
I'm still
You're
writing.
compiling another
Yeah.
book. Oh.
So I wrote and published 3 books this year. The 3 books. One is history, one is on prose, and one is on short stories. They call it flash fiction.
Okay.
So I produced 3 books already this year.
All right.
I'm now writing one more book. That word is history.
Can you publish it this year? You think
I
you have another
will
3
be
months?
published next year.
Oh, it must be next year. Okay.
I haven't finished the book, so I can't publish it.
Mr. Jong, can you visualize to us, had writing in your perspective bringing you good income? I mean, are you paid or do you earn extra money or do you earn good money from writing? Generally from, not your work as a newspaper writing, because that is your job, but I mean writing outside your profession as a as a newspaper man. So do you earn extra or do you earn good income, or how do you read writing?
To the writing in Mandarin or my writing in Chinese, in fact, it did not produce any benefits. Like myself, I produced, printed, published 18 books, but my income from the books are almost zero, except for one book sponsored by the National Library. Apart from that, for the other books, they are given free to my friends. Although there are a few shops, good friends would sell my book, but that is a very small portion of it, very small portion. So to writing in Mandarin or in Chinese language, the income is very little. Not like in other countries. When you produce or publish novels, they can
Give you good income,
good income.
good return
But
for your effort.
To our local, to our Sarawak writers, the income from selling the books they publish is very little.
But you still carry on writing.
Yes, I
You must
still
have-
carry on writing
Because you have very good
despite
reason.
any
Yeah.
without income from the writing the book. That's why I hope or I believe to those big association, big company
To buy and
to
distribute.
set up the publication fund or publication foundation to help the local writers or to help their members to produce or to publish their books. Because some of the local writers are not
Help yet.
Help with good
Income.
and good financial background. They are rather poor.
Yeah, okay.
That's right.
So,
So they don't have any strong financial foundation to publish their books or to write their book. Even they can write the books, but they don't have the
fun.
the money to publish the book.
So therefore, if they write, it's useless.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
So another thing is that if I look for you, I look for your books, I get the book. I can read. All right. Okay. But another way is I think this book should go to the public by putting it in local libraries or by putting it in all government libraries, in all universities, so that they become reading materials. How do you see that? Do you hope that maybe somebody can buy your book like the National Library and distribute it somewhere?
Yes.
Something?
I think so.
So far, only one.
Especially the state libraries, all the libraries managed by the district councils or association should try to buy books published by the local writers. Like in many years back, in the old days, our state library would buy a number of copies from every authors
And
then they
distribute it
distribute or keep in their library.
for research.
Yeah, for
Now,
letters.
no more.
Now no more. That's why I would very much hope that the Ministry of Culture
And tourism.
and Tourism may give some form of financial assistance or incentive to every writers to encourage them to publish, to write more.
Because I see if I sing the folk songs while weeding in my garden, they will photograph that. I think many tourists would want to see me. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
This is
that's
very,
right.
very catchy there. All
Yeah.
right, one more, sir.
Yeah.
This is very naughty. This gadget looks like a telephone only last time, where you have that simple telephone. But now this replaces everything,
Yes.
including your books.
Yeah.
How do you see the challenge? Should we continue publishing books, or should we do something in relation to this? Maybe it be digital, or how do you comment on that? Do you feel that this kind of books are still needed, or should transform into a
I
different
think
kind?
the hard copies, the books, are still valuable. It needs to be kept. One day, the handphone may disappear, but the book
Will still be there.
is there. So the records, this will
Still there.
still be the records to be kept by libraries, by people who love books, but
And
not
knowledge.
the handphone.
Yeah. Handphone can go anytime.
Can go anytime. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So to you, writing should still be put in hard copy like this.
Yes. I
And
think so.
distributed.
Yeah.
Distribution is important because if we don't distribute it, people just don't get to us for the materials.
So there is libraries can play a very important role in this one.
All right.
Helping the local writers to distribute their books. Only like my books, my English book, have been bought by, apart from the National Library, the UNIMAS have bought a few copies of me.
Oh.
Also, the Syrian District Council Library had also bought
Oh,
a
that's
few
good.
copies of me.
That's good. Maybe if Syrian District Council had bought, what if all the other district councils would buy?
Yes, that's why I expect them to do that. I had written a few letters to the main library or main council in Sarawak,
Okay.
but only the Syrian District Council had responded.
And bought.
But, yeah,
How many titles?
one title,
How many books they bought?
2.
2. That's good enough.
And that's
if,
good.
If all district councils in Sarawak do the same, you could earn something there.
Yeah.
Or that is small but to me, more people in that council could read what you had written. That will be more of knowledge building and knowledge culture in the society. That's how I see it. Okay.
That's why I think the Ministry of Culture, the Ministry of Local Government, should encourage or give a guideline that all the local libraries should buy the books published by the local writers.
And encourage the reading.
Yeah, encourage the reading.
Yeah.
And also the book can be in any language.
Correct. And then they will do translation of your books maybe one day.
That might be.
All right.
Yeah, because in area they are readers only in Chinese.
Correct.
There are readers in English and also in Bahasa or Iban or Bidayu or this. That will encourage people
To read and appreciate the knowledge.
Yes.
And use it for our healthy living.
Yes.
Especially the folk songs. I would love that. One day I learn from you how to sing the song.
Yeah.
Sir, do you have any advice to young people who are still in school or things like that about writing? What can you advise them?
One is that I think they should try to write, even from the secondary
Level?
start to write short stories, even about their own folk songs.
At a simple level first.
Their stories, their living, their culture, and all this in simple language that can be produced for those young readers, and also later some others produce such books for the senior readers. And also one thing, apart from encouraging the reading, they can preserve their culture, their heritage.
That is definite.
Yeah.
So, should one day an organization or anybody at all call you for a writing workshop over how to write articles or how to write your prose or how to write your poems, would you say yes, okay, I'm willing to help? Or should I say, no, that's not me? Or how do you comment on that? Should one day you are needed to help?
If one day needed, I will be quite happy to try to contribute my knowledge and experience in writing.
Okay, that sounds very, just maybe one day. Pustaka Negeri Sarawak might organize things like that, then maybe call the two of us again, we help people to write, maybe one day. Yeah. So do you have any other advice to anybody at all about reading, about producing reading materials like writing? Do you have any advice in general, sir?
In general, in our community or in our society, reading is not a strong habit or hobbies among our people. So we hope that more people or the schools will encourage their students to read. Like in the old days, the school, the teacher will always encourage us to read some books.
Because reading is a key to knowledge acquisition.
Yes, that's right.
Thank
that
you.
Can encourage, that will enhance your language ability.
Also, yeah, all right. So for being with me today, sir, thank you very much. And for introducing us what work pieces you had through your writings, thank you very much. Maybe from me, all the best to you, and may God bless you, and see how more contributions from you in the healthy writings for Sarawak and also for the world outside. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.